Hey everyone. Welcome to Secrets Behind the Stars. Every juicy detail is waiting right here, so settle in, hit subscribe, and share this video if you love a good behind-the-curtain story. Thank you for being here. Tonight, the couple everyone has been whispering about, Gökberk Yildirim and Cemre Arda, aren't trending because of a red carpet appearance or a dazzling set photo. What has everyone buzzing is a private revelation about their prenuptial agreement. One that caught even their closest friends off guard. Word has it that Gökberk quietly told his inner circle, in a tone that mixed pride with disbelief, "Cemre cried when I added that clause." The moment that sentence slipped out, the room went quiet, and the whispers started multiplying like wildfire. They've been building their relationship away from the relentless camera flashes, focusing on something grounded, something that couldn't be shaken by a tabloid headline. They kept their wedding preparations discreet, no flashy countdowns or orchestrated leaks. But in the midst of this calm, a conversation about the prenuptial agreement lit up emotions they weren't fully prepared for. It wasn't about dividing assets or signing away percentages. This clause touched something deeper. According to those who were present in spirit if not in person, Gökberk asked that their contract reflect what he believes love looks like when the spotlight turns harsh. He wanted emotional priorities to stand above career urgencies. He insisted that no matter how demanding the filming days or premieres or readings might become, they would carve out time that belonged only to them, an hour a day a week, and a stretch of evenings each month unbroken by phones, meetings, publicists, or last-minute script changes. Not a financial trap, but a sanctuary written in black and white. When Cemre heard it, she didn't argue or negotiate. She went still, then the tears came. People who know her say she has learned to keep her guard up. Years of constant scrutiny will do that, but this time something dissolved. Those in the know swear she later confided to a trusted friend, "It felt like someone truly saw the map of my hopes and my worries, and didn't look away." No bitterness, no alarm, just a sudden rush of feeling that surprised even her. And of course, fans are split down the middle. Some are calling it proof that their love is the genuine article, that this is what romance looks like when it grows serious. Others argue that a contract is a contract, and even a gentle clause is still paperwork standing between two hearts. Meanwhile, people close to Gökberk insist he has been repeating the same line whenever the subject comes up. It's not about suspicion. If anything, it shows how deeply I want to protect what we have. The couple's magnetism on set has always bled into real life, and now the excitement around them is crackling louder than ever. With marriage talk gaining momentum, the curiosity is relentless. What happened after that emotional conversation is where the story turns. They took a night for themselves, no assistants, no stylists, no buzzing phones, just the two of them and the questions every couple must face. What scares you? How do we protect each other? Where does work end and we begin? People familiar with Cemre's pace say she has been carrying a heavy schedule, expectations piled on top of expectations, and the gaze of the public pressed against the windows of her life. Gökberk, for his part, has been trying to steady the ship, bringing a quieter rhythm into their days, offering calm where there is noise, drawing a line around the pieces of their world that should not be public property. Sources claim the clause also includes language about safeguarding Cemre's boundaries. Her right to disappear into rest without apology, her right to say no, her right to silence when silence is what she needs. Those present when the tears dried say the next moment was the one that changed everything. Cemre leaned into him, wrapped her arms around his neck, and told him softly, "I could feel how much you meant it." If there was a turning point, that was it. The second they realized a contract could become a vow, and a paragraph could feel like a promise. Since then, the whispers have shifted. Meetings with their families, once sporadic, have grown more frequent. This isn't the kind of gossip you can stage, it shows up in small, telling ways. In the way their families have been spotted quietly attending the same private dinners. In how their circles have become intimately connected, the kind of merging that only happens when plans are turning real. Friends say dates are being floated, calendars compared, venues considered. Nothing announced yet, but the air is thick with intention. If you look closely at what Cemre shares on social media, you notice the change. The photos are simpler, less glossy, more like glimpses than productions. An unguarded smile in a kitchen that looks lived in, a book on a nightstand, a sunset caught through a car window. You can see what you want in those images, but those who know the context say these are little anchors, signals of a slower rhythm settling in. And there's something else, too, tiny notes that appear in her stories, initials on a scrap of paper, words blurred just enough to make you lean in. People swear that on the days when her schedule is especially punishing, Gökberk finds ways to be present anyway, leaving a message on a mirror, a warm drink in her chair, a car waiting so she doesn't have to face the street alone. All of this has nudged the prenup conversation out of the cold, bureaucratic light and into something warmer. The black and white pages aren't just lines and signatures, they are, to hear them tell it, a structure for their shared life. People close to both of them are adamant that secrecy is still the plan, that any announcement will come only when it feels right. But the question humming through every gossip circle remains the same: after that clause, after those tears, when will they decide to seal the deal and stop letting the world guess? Meanwhile, the echo from their inner circle is getting louder. Cemre's closest friends were skeptical at first. The word prenup tends to stiffen shoulders and shut down romance, and who could blame them? But when they learned what the document actually says, what it prioritizes, what it protects, opinions softened, then shifted. The detail that calmed her family came straight from Gökberk during a late-night conversation. That he would not flinch if her career hit turbulence, that he would be the person who holds the umbrella when the storm hits, not the person who complains about the rain. Another hush-hush detail is that they won't race down the aisle. They both acknowledge the tempo of their careers, the offers stacked high on both sides of the table. Waiting, for them, is not avoidance, it's respect for timing and for each other. Those who've heard Cemre in private say she's been telling people that she can finally look ahead without bracing for impact, that for the first time in a long time the future doesn't feel like a test she might fail. As for Gökberk, he hasn't been coy about how he frames this document. When teased by a friend about turning love into clauses, he reportedly smiled and said, "It's not a set of restrictions. It's the scaffolding for the life we'll build." That's not the language of paranoia. That's the language of craft, of someone who wants to construct something lasting and beautiful, one careful beam at a time. Naturally, rumor mills are running full speed with talk of a surprise ceremony, the kind that nobody sees coming until the morning after, when the pictures appear like a dream. And the less they say, the more the guessing grows. Fan pages dedicated to them are overflowing with theories, proof, and predictions, each more elaborate than the last. One day it's a venue pinned on a map, the next it's a tailor rumored to be altering something white. It's a frenzy, but underneath, there's a steady hum of affection from people who've watched their connection deepen in real time. For all the noise, the two of them have shifted into a quieter orbit. Less red carpet, more small dinners. Fewer guest lists, more weekends out of town in places where nobody cares about their follower counts. Friends describe a kind of restoration happening. Card games that stretch past midnight, long walks where decisions feel easier because the world is far away. In certain circles, this calm is being read as a herald of something big about to break. Cemre's recent interviews add fuel to the conversation without giving anything away. She's been speaking with a new clarity, saying she has firmer boundaries now, that she knows what fits and what doesn't. People jumped on the phrasing, as they always do. Is she hinting at a new chapter with him? Is she clearing space for a different kind of life? Maybe the answer is both. Maybe that's what the clause really meant, not limits, but space. The more you hear, the more a picture forms, private, tender, deliberate. The prenup that started as a headline has softened into a love story written in unusual ink. And if you trace the path from that first conversation to the quiet room where they held each other and decided to be braver than before, you realize this is less about papers than it is about presence. He wants to be there. She wants to be seen. They want to build something that can't be shaken by the rush of the industry or the pull of the crowd. So where does that leave us? Waiting, yes, but not idly. We're watching the little signals, the way their families move closer together, the way their posts speak softly even when the world is loud. We're catching the glint of something significant assembling itself in careful steps. Will they announce an engagement date next week, or slip away and come back married? Will the surprise of the year land before anyone can guess? Only they know, and they're not saying. But here's what has become clear. After that clause, after those tears, something shifted. The skepticism faded in the rooms that matter. The people who love them most have stopped worrying and started helping, choosing songs, tasting cakes, scouting venues with understated elegance. And in the center of it all, there's a pair who seem to have decided that love isn't just a feeling, it's a schedule, a boundary, a promise to show up even when the world demands you be somewhere else. Maybe that's the real romance here. Not the candles or the captions, but the discipline of caring day after day. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the end of the story we're all waiting for, a door opening, the rustle of a dress, a laugh that carries down a hallway only they know. But until that moment arrives, we will keep our eyes on the signs and our ears tuned to the whispers, because this is one of those rare times when the rumor feels like prelude instead of noise. Thank you for watching Secrets Behind the Stars. If you enjoyed this deep dive, remember to subscribe and share. It helps us bring you closer to the stories that matter. See you in the next one.